Hey YouTube, this is bayshoredipman here, back with a video, another one, and I want to talk about my first time actually what I consider my real first time dipping. The first time I ever tried dip, I was fucking Cope Straight long cut. Actually, now that I think of it, and I was at work and I was having a fucking Marlboro Red, and the guy that in the truck was like, "Dude, you should quit smoking." I'm like, "Yeah, but I want something else to do." He's like, "You ever dip?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He told me what it was. So I tried it and I was like, wow, that kind of tastes like crap. I didn't get sick or nothing, but I was like, it tastes like shit. I mean, I wasn't turned off to it, but it was just one of those things that was, I don't know how to describe it really. And then the first thing I tried that I actually paid for myself, that I actually paid for myself was fuck was it? Skull, blah, 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 blah. I think it was grape or something like that. I don't know. It was a real fruity flavor, and I really didn't like it that much. And it just was like sweet almost. And I was like, all right, so what else am I gonna try? That was actually my first time. Everyone that recommends starting with the fruity flavors, I don't recommend starting with the fruity flavors because it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was weird. Like I wanted to swallow it. I didn't because I knew you're not supposed to, but it was like you kind of want to. It almost, I don't know. And then what I tried after that was this, and that's the shit that made me start. Um, Skull Wintergreen. I think one of my videos I said I started with Skull Straight, and I realized that wasn't true. That was what I tried after Wintergreen. And then, so I went through my first can of Wintergreen, got the straight, and that I don't always dip that. It's one of those things I have to be in a certain mood to dip straight. So I got a can of mint, and I absolutely hated it because I'm like it tastes like toothpaste. So I pretty much got myself decided on what I dip, and I'll do it. Show you. Grizz Green, Skull Wintergreen, Cope Wintergreen, which is what I'm dipping right now. Mm. Occasionally, Skull Straight. And on once so far, I've had this can for, what's it, a week now? I've only dipped it once, and it's one of those things you have to get used to because it's hard to keep in one spot. Because I'll show you. For people that don't know the difference between uh, long cut, fine cut, and then snuff, I'll show you long cut first. Um, Actually, let me not pack it. You can see the difference. That's long cut. That's kind of like, well, it's not kind of. It's exactly what it is. It's bigger pieces. Like instead of it being like, I don't know, crack or something. Instead of it being all little tiny pieces like that, It's like, I don't know how the fuck to describe it. You know when you're cutting wood and you go across the grain and it's like real dusty, and then when you go with the grain, it's like longer pieces. When you go, well, the longer pieces will be long cut, obviously. And it's a lot easier to pack, a lot easier to pinch, a lot easier to keep in one spot in your mouth. Snuff, not so much. Shit goes everywhere. At least it did when I tried it. Still didn't swallow them though, because I can control myself. Yeah. Right now, honestly, my favorite Coke wintergreen. And this is $6.25. My can of Grizz Green was $6.25. My fucking can of Skull, actually both of these were $7.50, which kind of pissed me off. And this was $6.50. Why Snuck is more, I don't know. Probably because it's New York and shit's expensive. I know when I say $6.25 for a can of Grizz Green or Coke wintergreen isn't bad. People are like, it's not bad. I pay like $2.50. Welcome to the wonderful state of New York. Everything is quadruple what it is everywhere else, and it sucks. Really sucks. The difference is, well, actually, one of the reasons I like dipping better than smoking, I can make this last a week. This lasts a day, and that's like $8. And that'll, fuck your lungs up. Everyone's like, oh, you're gonna get mouth cancer. I'd rather have mouth cancer than lung cancer. I'd rather have my gums rot and my teeth fall out than my lungs fall off. You know? I can live without teeth. I'll put my steak and shit in a blender and drink it. Can't live without lungs. So, yeah. This is supposed to be a video on what I recommend to start dipping with, and it went everywhere, as usual. I recommend starting with wintergreen. Or mint. Not so much mint. Wintergreen, definitely. Because the fruity flavors don't do anything. For me, at least. Yeah. Don't start with fruity flavors. Start with wintergreen. Coke, Grizzly, or Skull. From what I know, again, it's New York. That's what I can get in New York. There's a lot of different dips out there, and it's New York, and I can't get half the stuff that I want to try in New York. Actually, the place I go now to get my dip, the guy starts to know me. So, and I swear to God, I'm the only one that goes in there and fucking buys dip. I swear to God. But I had to tell him, I had to point out the can. I'm like, I walk in and I see it there. Let me get a can of Grizzly Wintergreen. You want what now? It wasn't a white guy. It was a Spanish guy. I'm like, the stuff in the back says Grizzly. Long cut wintergreen. He's like, oh, you want that? I'm like, yeah, please. Now. Yeah. I apologize for my random videos, but it's just one of those days my mind's in a million different places. See you later.